G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you're having a fantastic day, and with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and let's get right into it. Posted by user RKG990, titled, "My mum neglected me and ditched me for her new family, so I decided to ditch her as well." Little background to myself. I, male 19, was born when my mum was 17 and my dad was 19. My dad has been in prison for the majority of my life for non-violent drug charges. My mum got married when I was 10 to my stepdad. Just to clarify, my mum and dad were never married. They dated each other and eventually hooked up and had me. My problems with my mum started when she got pregnant with my sister, and then after my sister, she got pregnant again and had my brother, and I became like a ghost that she hardly paid attention to. She neglected me emotionally, and I felt like I was unwanted in her life. I didn't matter anymore. As I grew up, I continued to try to get her to talk to me, but she was always busy. With my brother and sister, every family activity they did together, she has always excluded me. It was always my stepdad and mum and my siblings, except for me, like I wasn't a part of the family. This is how I came to my conclusion that my mum hates me or she dislikes me. As I mentioned before, I have two younger siblings aged 4 and 9. One day, my mum comes into my room. She's all dressed up and racing around, and I ask if she's going somewhere. She tells me no, and I go back to playing on my computer. No later than 15 minutes, I hear the garage door go up, so I race downstairs thinking, what the heck? And sure enough, my mum, stepdad, and my sister and brother are all dressed up and in the truck, and I'm standing outside feeling really uncomfortable. The look she gave me as she jumped into the truck made me feel like I was interrupting her. There wasn't any, "Oh yeah, sorry." It was just a look of absolute disgust. I don't cry very easily, but something about the whole thing really got to me, and I went back inside and cried a bit, but then got over it. Wasn't the first time. She texts me 10 minutes later telling me they're just going to the park. I don't respond because I would have just worked myself up again. Fast forward, they get home, I was eating dinner, and my 9-year-old sister rushes in after my mum, super excited, to tell me about everything they had done. They hadn't gone to the park. My mum had lied to me, saying they went to the park when they'd actually gone to Dave & Buster's. They also went to get milkshakes and went shopping. I was visibly crushed by it, and my little sister noticed I had gotten upset. I could tell my mum was about to start making excuses and making the circumstances my fault. So to keep my little sister and brother from seeing that, I excused myself to my room quietly. It super sucks. I've been trying so hard to be a good son despite the selfishness of my mother and the effects that her chaotically selfish ways have on me. But once I realized that shit isn't normal, I started questioning our relationship. I didn't see any safe way out without ending up on the streets and broke. I'm 19 years old and unemployed, by the way, so I joined the army. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision, and she still doesn't know. I can handle it, and it's the first decision I've actually made on my own. I cannot tell you how excited I am for BCT soon. Sorry everyone, I just wanted to get this off my chest and share my story. Edit, I would like people to know that I don't hate my brother and sister. I like my brother and sister. They also like me. I have good memories of spending time with them. At this point, they're the only thing that I consider family, and I hope they understand why I moved away. I hope that when I come back from the army, they still see me as their big brother. I would also like people to know that my grandparents from my mum's side of the family passed away already, and my grandparents from my bio-dad's side of the family also passed away. My grandmother passed away 2 years after I was born, and my grandfather passed away when I was 15 years old. My bio-dad is the only child they had. My mom only has one sister, and she's married with 3 kids. Her kids are around the same age as me, and she and her husband live paycheck to paycheck, and I don't want to be a burden to them. That's why I never went to live with them. I'll keep you guys updated for now, but that's all. I have seen some of the comments below. Thank you everyone for the love and support. Again, thank you all. In the comments, the666 says, "Never look back. Best of luck. I hope you find happiness in your life. And while you're out in the army, look for other resources to grow to go to school. There are lots of opportunities. It's just a matter to go look for them and use them." You know what, OP? You are going to be okay. Maybe things are not supposed to be like this. I know, but you sound like a good person. Don't let your mother's stupidity turn you bitter or angry at the world or at her. Be better than them. We always have this attachment to our parents even when they don't deserve us. You are going to be okay. Make a good life for yourself, and if you ever become a parent, pour all of your love on them. Sending you a big hug. You are going to be okay. OP replies, "Thank you. Yes, despite everything, I don't hate my mom. I still love her. And that's what hurts a lot. Becoming a parent is one of my dreams as well. I hope I'll be a good dad one day." OP, you'll be okay. It may not be a smooth ride, but you will be okay in the end. Look forward and better days will come. One day you'll be surrounded with people who appreciate your presence. You will be a great dad too, because you know how to treat your children. You have experienced what not to do, and I'm sure will do so much better. I'm glad you've made a decision which makes you happy. Know that we are all here supporting you. Keep us updated on things. Stay safe and best of luck. Don't even tell her. Just disappear from her life. Seconding this. If anything, say goodbye to the siblings so that's how she finds out that you left. Edited to add, saying goodbye to them since they're the innocent ones, and especially after D&B, I could see your sister blaming herself because that's what a kid's brain does sometimes. That's good advice. Let them know your plans the days or day before you leave. Do not ask them to keep it a secret or tell them to tell your mother. They are innocent and should remain that way. You can also write to them. I would have zero expectations from your parents. Both your mother and stepfather are cold iceberg. You have done nothing wrong. And now, onto the update. Not much has happened. I've been busy moving my stuff out. You guys told me not to say anything to her about me leaving, but I find that really hard to do because my sister is outspoken. Everything she hears and sees, she tells. So I decided to tell my sister I'll be leaving for a job that I was offered. I'm going to tell my mum the same thing if she asks me. If you guys have any better suggestions or ideas on how to deal with these kinds of situations, I'm all ears. My mum didn't see me moving my stuff out, but she did notice some of my things missing and asked about them. I just told her that I had sold some of my things to make some quick cash. I just got a little bit left to move out and I'll be done moving my things. Just in case y'all were wondering where I left my stuff, I asked a friend if I can leave my stuff at her house, and she said yes. Some of you are probably wondering when I'm leaving for the army. It's on the 23rd, this Friday. Some of you also asked why the army and not the Navy or Marines or Air Force. My friend who let me leave my things at her house has a grandpa who was in the army, and he convinced me to join the army. But if things don't work out for myself in the army, I'm going to join the Navy or Air Force or Marines. Thanks everyone. I'll keep you guys updated if anything comes up. In the comments, Total Potato 95 says, "My brother, I'm sorry your mother failed you. You deserve better. BCT will be hard, but you can do it. As a former service member myself, the army was the best decision I made. If you want to ask any questions about BCT for the army or need any advice, feel free to message me. My advice is go no contact with her. She obviously didn't care about you, and you needed a good mother, which she wasn't. You are a strong man, and you can do this. I hope you make it through BCT well, and update us all on your life soon." I wouldn't be nice to her at all. I would tell her just how bad of a mum she is, and then leave. Also, I wouldn't tell her that I wouldn't be back. I would just leave and never come back. Similar to that response, I would also just tell her the truth that your mum has neglected you for all these years, and you will never come back, but you don't necessarily have to be harsh on your sister. Alternatively, you could lie and say that you'll be gone for a couple of days. If you want to be harsh on your mum, I'd even stop calling her mum. She's no mother to be treating you like that. I wish you the best of luck. Don't lie. She'll get more and more distressed because her brother is gone, and a couple days will leave her doubting everything. I think it's better to just talk to your sister and brother before leaving, on the actual day that you are leaving. Explain to them what caused it and why you're leaving, and then go. If your mum is gonna ask, tell her you're going to the park. Hiya! I don't really have any words of wisdom on how to handle your leaving and what to tell people. My comment is more for you. I'm an Air Force veteran and old enough to be your mom. I don't know how it would be possible, but if I somehow had your address while in basic, I would love to write you letters. Getting letters during basic was one of the things that kept me going and helped me through. Anyway, I'm so sorry your mother treated you this way and led to this situation, but I'm very proud of you for making this decision and doing what's best for you. Update 2. Today my bio dad called me and said that he got out of prison 2 weeks ago. He's living in his parents' house. My grandparents, when they passed away, left their house to my dad. So I went to see him. We had a good conversation and he apologized for not being there for me. I told him if he's truly sorry for not being there for me, he should make it up to me by being there for me now. He told me he was going to try his best to be there for me and that he's got a job in construction. I told him I was going to the army, and he broke down in tears and told me that he was proud of me, and I couldn't help it and cry as well. It was a very emotional moment. I told him because he hasn't been there all my life, I'm not going to call him Dad just because he's my bio dad. I'm going to call him by his name. If he wants me to call him Dad, he has to earn it. He told me that's fine. I plan on going back tomorrow and being there for a while with him, and of course it's going to be after he gets out of work. In the comments, it earnestly do be like that, and I'm glad you set that boundary. Hugs. Good for you. I'm a USAF veteran. Best advice I can give is to avoid girlfriends in AIT. Please remember this. I know what I'm talking about. Have a ball. It can be a really great time once you get through the training. As a Navy vet, avoid getting married quickly too. Date for years before you give someone your benefits and make sure they can handle the stress and loyalty of being a military partner without the marriage certificate. Also, don't sleep with anyone from your attachment. That's just a sticky situation you don't want. It's a hard life, but a fulfilling one. You'll make lifelong friends that become family. You won't regret it, OP. Army vet here. This will change your life for the absolute better. Work your ass off to be the best in your unit. Don't get in trouble. Be a PT stud. Learn everything you can. Be the go-to guy for your MOS. Spend as little of your pay as you can while you're single and get all the free degrees you can manage. The military is one of the best places to build yourself into the best version of yourself. Also, enjoy basic. Regardless of how much it sucks, you will remember it as one of the best times in your life. You did the right thing. You set a boundary and a goal for your father. Despite your mother and how she's mistreated you, you came out as an amazing, good, and kind young man. You deserved a better mother, but I'm glad you were still pursuing the army and building a relationship with your bio dad. From an army vet, good luck and I wish you the best. Never quit and always persevere no matter the challenge. Final update for a while. Hello everyone. This is going to be my last post for a while. I'm already ready to go, and I'm here in my biological father's house. My mum doesn't know I'm leaving for the army. The only thing she knows is that I moved out of her house and am staying with my biological father. I left a note telling her everything about how she has mistreated me, except for the fact that I'm going to the army. I'm going to call an Uber to take me to the station where I'm going to get picked up by a bus and then take me to the army. My bio dad is paying for the Uber in case y'all are wondering. Also, I would like people to know that I forgave my bio dad for not being there for me, but I also told him that just because I forgave him doesn't mean I'm going to call him Dad. He has to earn it. So I started by calling him his first name, Matthew. Yes, that's his real name. I could see it in his eyes when I called him by his first name that he was hurt by it, but he accepted the fact that he wasn't there for me growing up, and these are the consequences. But I also told him that I'd give him an opportunity to redeem himself, and let's see if he really is sorry and regrets not being there for me. I don't know if my mum has read the letter because I'm not there to see her reaction. I did talk to my sister, who is 10 years old, about me moving out because I got a job. She was sad, but she said, "Are you going to come and visit us?" I told her yes, when I have the time. She was 9 before, but she's now 10 this past weekend, as it was her birthday. My little brother is still too young to understand things, so I didn't tell him anything. He is only 4 after all. That's all for now. Thank you guys for everything. Thanks for listening to my pathetic life. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated if I have time to post. God bless you all. In the comments, Bring Me the Horizon 12 says, Prayer emoji hands. I don't know you, but I have to say that I'm proud of you. Stay strong, stay safe, and keep us posted on how you're doing, and if your mum reaches out. Also, I'm sorry that your mum treated you that way. You deserve the world. I hope everything works out for you. Definitely keep a relationship up with your sister, and maybe your mum will realize what she did in this time away from you. BCT will be hard, but based off what you've already gone through and accomplished, I think you'll make it. Good luck, and hope for nothing but the best for you. Quote, the look she gave me as she jumped into the truck made me feel like I was interrupting her. There wasn't any, oh yeah, sorry. It was just a look of absolute disgust. Logic says, when I read this, I also had a look of absolute disgust on my face, but this one was definitely not directed at OP. This is just so heartbreaking. How can people be so cold? Struana says, my entire family went to Hawaii for a week without taking me, the stepchild that no one wanted around. My mum did a similar thing to me. I haven't spoken to her in about a decade. I hope OP builds the life that he needs for himself. I bet she wonders why. It sounds like when the younger half-siblings get wind of how their big bro had been treated, OP's mum is going to find none of the kids are going to want anything to do with her, and like the piece of crap she is, she will blame OP for poisoning her kids against her. This is heartbreaking. This poor kid, only 19. The adults in his life suck, but he has such a reasonable head on his shoulders. Good for him for getting out and finding a way to be independent, hoping the army gives him stability and he finds some found family. I really hope this kid excels in life. He seems to really want to do well. I'm not a fan of the military, but it can be a good route for some people. Job training, sense of purpose, etc. I think he's got a good shot. And yeah, I think that OP has a great shot too in this one. It doesn't sound like it's a great start, but not all of us get great starts in life, and that's just the hands that we're dealt. We have to make of it what we can. Sometimes things like going to the army are the only outs that some of these people have, and that's more than okay. I wish nothing but the best for OP, and am very much looking forward to an update in the future. And thank you for sharing your story with us. Our next post is by user Misty Moonbeam, titled, I saw sexually explicit texts on my husband's phone. Hi, I'm posting here because I don't know what else to do. I'm pretty sure my husband is cheating on me. He won't admit to it, but I don't think I'm imagining anything. He left his phone near me on the arm of the couch, and I saw some messages pop up from a person with a woman's name, a woman I've never heard of, and the messages were not innocent whatsoever. He seemingly realized he had left his phone there and quickly came back from the other room and grabbed it. I was nursing our daughter and our other children were nearby. Inside, I was exploding. All I could do was give him the dirtiest look and he was like, what? I told him, you know what? And he said I was paranoid. So I stopped talking to him for the rest of the evening. Once the kids were in bed, we went into our bedroom and I closed the door and asked him what the F those messages were about. He said he didn't know what I was talking about. I told him not to treat me like an idiot. I saw messages from a woman who clearly was not me talking about his cock. That's the word she used. Why would any other woman be using that word innocently in a text message to my husband? I asked to see his phone. Normally I'm not like that, but I had to see the messages and whatever else he's hiding on his phone, like pictures or videos. He refused to let me see his phone. I told him that tells me all I need to know then. He said no, he's just not going to play this game with me. I'm now sleeping in another room for the night. For reference, I'm 35 and he's 42. We've been married for 80 years and we have 4 kids, all girls. Our oldest is 6 and our youngest is almost a year old. I'm deeply in love with him. He seemed to be deeply in love with me. I feel as giddy and as excited to be with him now as I did when we first met. I feel safe with him and this is the man that I always dreamed of. Despite being together for 10 years, I can't keep my hands off him and he's the same with me. I'm attracted to him in every way. He's a great dad, totally engaged and involved, loving, patient, protective, and fun. He's into all of this masculine stuff. But wow, he's the best girl dad and is truly their hero in their eyes. He didn't know if he'd ever decided to pull the trigger on having a kid, but he says when he met me, that changed, and we decided to have one and see how it went. We enjoyed the experience so much, we did it 3 more times. Despite saying we're done at 4, we've been talking about maybe 1 more. He has a job that he is very committed to, a very good job that supports our family. I had a full-time career as well, but I became a stay-at-home mom when our 3rd baby was born. His job requires travel several times a year, sometimes for extended periods of time. I've had a few friends ask if I'm ever worried about the time apart and what he was getting up to. I never worried. He is in constant communication with me, calls home to speak to our kids every night, and nothing ever seemed odd. The one thing that I now feel was weird is that there would be an unfamiliar smell in his suitcase sometimes, sort of perfumed. The only thing I can figure is that he's been cheating on me when he's out of town. I don't see when he'd be doing it at other times. I don't know what to do now. He's probably deleting everything that was on his phone now. I feel dizzy. I want to know every single detail about whatever it is he is doing. I don't want to feel like an idiot that will just sit at home and remain the fool. This is the worst nightmare come true. I trusted him 110%. In the comments, A Mahi says, "He said no, he's just not going to play this game with me. Yeah, he's cheating and wiped his phone clean." Unfortunately, OP probably ruined her chances of finding anything else. He's going to be extra careful now. Learned this lesson the hard way. Gotta just sit back and take notes until you find the proof or it comes to you. Knowing what you know with no proof will make you crazy. And OP says, "This is how I feel now." You know he's cheating. If you're not going to leave him, then I would take everything you can and live your life like you're the queen of the castle. I'd be going to the gym, do a mind and body makeover, make friends, and show him exactly who the F you are and why he married you. Don't play the pick-me, cry me a river and feel sorry for myself while I gather evidence just to reconcile in the end. It's pathetic and pointless, and you're better than that, and start acting like it. When he gets home, he's on babysitting duty while you get out of the house and start living for you and your babies. You've got this, girl. Please start believing in yourself and see how the stars align for you. This, looking for proof, is just a way to stall the inevitable. So if you're going to stay with him anyways, just live your best life and don't allow him access to it. I'm sorry. Innocent husbands don't hide their phones. Since he's been so careful up to this point, chances are you won't catch him easily again. You already see that he's a gaslighter, so you won't get the truth from him, or at most, you'll get trickle truths. Get yourself tested regularly if you will still be intimate with him. Explore your financial records, credit cards, bank statements. Look for large withdrawals of cash around travel dates or credit card charges that have no work reimbursements later on. If he's doing this on work trips, he shouldn't need cash because that would either be paid for directly by work or reimbursed later either in his paycheck or as a separate deposit. Also, make sure his net pay checks out to a pay stub. If it doesn't, it means he created a secret account and is diverting marital funds. A family member of mine has had this happen recently. Her husband constantly on the phone and being cagey with it. She just outright said, "If you not showing me the contents of your phone is more important than our marriage, you may as well just leave." He never did show her the contents on his phone, and they aren't together anymore. She had a lot going on in her life at the time, and just said that she didn't have the energy to deal with lies and secrecy from her supposed life partner. She's a badass. I hope you get your answers. Update. I recently posted about seeing sexually explicit texts on my husband's phone. That's all I saw before he snatched the phone from where it was sitting. I wasn't going through his phone or snooping, it was just laying on the arm of the couch and I glanced over when I saw messages pop up. I definitely did not expect to see anything like that. He tried to tell me that I was just being paranoid, that nothing was going on. Believe me, I tried desperately to think of any innocent reason why I would have seen those texts pop up on his phone. It doesn't take long to realize there is no innocent explanation. Luckily, I followed some advice here and I logged onto his forgotten iPad. He rarely ever uses it. I saw the texts that I had seen flash on his screen and a lot more than just that. It seems like after she sent him a message about 2 months ago, he told her not to contact him again. He could have blocked her if he was serious about it, right? Eventually, he started talking to her, and their conversations have been going on pretty regularly since then, and they're almost entirely sexually explicit conversations. Where on earth did this lady come from? I doubt she randomly texted my husband's number by chance. I confronted him with undeniable proof that I had seen messages, and he eventually admitted that it's a woman he met while on a business trip, and that they were only together a few times, but then she started texting him. He slipped and said, "Normally I don't give them my..." Then he realized what he was saying, admitted to me that normally he doesn't give random women he hooks up with his number. He didn't say the full thing, but that's what he was about to say. He was flustered. He couldn't believe I was smart enough to look at the iPad and that he hadn't thought about that. He still won't admit that there has been anyone more than this one woman. He says he's not in love with her, there are no feelings, it's just been flirting and sexting and he got carried away. I can't just pack my bags and leave. I have 4 little kids. So I told him to leave, at least for now. I'm disgusted. He begged to stay and fix things, but I refused to talk to him. He's staying at a hotel right now. I almost can't function. I want to smash all of his belongings. 1 second I'm enraged, and the next I'm sad and blaming myself. I know this sounds pathetic, but I don't want to be a single mum of 4 kids under 7. I don't want to be married to him right now either. In the comments, Moonglade Ladybug says, "From the slip of his words, this wasn't the first affair partner and most likely won't be the last. Can you stay married to a cheating husband? You don't need to make a decision now, but when you're more clear-headed, talk to a lawyer and look at your options. Decide from there where you want your marriage to go. I'm sorry you're going through this. Cheating is vile." Exactly this. OP needs to decide if she can stay married to him, knowing he's going to continue cheating. At that point, their marriage isn't a marriage, they're just roommates. The kids will be taught this is how relationships work, and that it's okay for their parents to be miserable for the sake of the kids. No matter how much parents try to hide it, children always know. And really important, if she waits, that gives him time to plan a better exit. Honestly, either way, this will end in divorce. It's just a matter of now versus after 3 to 5 more hideous and painful years. But he will know this will end in divorce. He's caught, and there is no fixing this behavior. I know 1,000 guys like him. They don't change, and staying only shows they will get away with it. If she stays, he'll have 5-ish years to plan, to hide money, to finagle the lowest possible child support and alimony. He'll get a job change/promotion that coincidentally moves them to a particular state where the laws benefit him and really screw her in a divorce. My stepdad did this. My best friend's dad with a secret family did this, plus so many others I know about. This marriage is over, and it sucks to be a single mother of 4, but it sucks worse to live in pure pain and to teach your children that this is what they deserve in life too. Get child support and alimony in a divorce, and split custody 1 week on and 1 week off. You'll actually get adult time with friends and family, and he'll actually have to be a dad 49% of the time while also paying child support and alimony. I hope she reads this. Lied about cheating, got caught, admitted it, but said it was only her, got caught lying about that too. Scumbag. I feel for OP and their young family. It's the gaslighting of, "No, you're paranoid, you didn't see texts like that," that is utterly unforgivable to me. Everything else is bad enough, but to then try to convince your partner in life not to trust their own eyes and brain when you've been caught is just so sick. For sure. There was just a post about hooker culture in Japan, based on the idea that they accept physical infidelity if that's the only thing, and the guy is honest. Here the husband is completely disrespecting the wife on top of everything else. It is multiple levels of infidelity, and he's an ass. Apple Content Sync is undefeated. Apparently it's how the author Emma Foster caught her husband cheating too. Quote, "When he was working in London without me, he accidentally linked his new iPad to our daughter's, and all of his texts started popping through as she watched the Octonauts. I let him know that I was seeing things I shouldn't. By the time he was on a plane home to LA, I was at a divorce lawyer. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.